What's good, everyone? Are you looking to understand decks at a deeper level? Because I know there's like 18 quadrillion different decks out there, and kind of breaking them down and understanding how to become a better deck builder for any tournaments, any like casual play, literally anything, just to have fun with the card game is a pretty difficult thing to do. So, with today's series of shorts in the Evolve Your Game series, we're going to be talking about the different core deck archetypes, and then each video in the series is going to build on the next to help increase your understanding on how to build a deck. But today, I want to break it down by just simply talking about the 4 core deck archetypes represented by this Venn diagram here. The first one is the tanky decks. These tank decks are mostly represented by many stage 2 decks, such as Dragapult, Charizard, and Cynthia's Garchomp, known for their bulk and their ability to be comfortable in a 2-shot game since they can play cards like Turbo to heal, but occasionally some stage 1 decks make it into this category, like Archaladin and Blissey, which also both have 300 HP and are very comfortable in this 2-shot meta. The next we're going to talk about are turbo decks. Turbo decks are known for their insanely fast pace of play and also their high count of gusting cards to make sure that they're taking 2 prize cards first and trying to 2-4-6 the opponent into victory without worry about, if they get KO'd on the following turn since they're doing it faster. These are most known by Raging Bolt, Joltik Box, and Golden Go. These single prize decks, also the category of the coolest players. I don't know, personally just a fan of the single prize decks, are represented by Ethan's Typhlosion and Ancient Box. These decks are known for forcing kind of a bit of a longer game since they play all single prize Pokemon and force your opponent to play a much longer game than expected, whereas turbo decks can't, one-shot any of these Pokemon and take 2 prize cards. Are now making them expend more resources while putting up the numbers to 2-shot many decks in the format, if not work your way to a 1-shot on a lot of them like Ethan's Typhlosion. The fourth and final category is going to be the control decks. These decks are represented by Pidgeot Control and also some odd things such as Wugtrio Control, which function in the mill category, but we throw that in control since it's working around an alternate win con, which is decking your opponent out. Control decks are most often known as the most difficult decks to play for many players, the hardest decks to create, and excel when a format has reached a very stagnant point where there's only a couple deck archetypes that a control deck can specifically work on abusing. So if there's a lot of ability text in play, for example, control decks might be more likely to win by using Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. That's going to wrap it up for today's explanation on the core deck archetypes. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video in the series where we're going to talk about kind of the food chain between these decks and which decks are natural counters to others so you can make better, more informed decisions on what deck to bring to your next tournament.